Hello everyone. So today we will be starting a new chapter, Respiration in Organisms. This comes under chapter 10 of your Science NCERT book. Okay. So what we are going to learn today, first of all, we will be learning about the concept and definition of respiration, what actually a respiration is, and then we will be discussing on the types of respiration, and mainly today only we will be focusing on one of the types of respiration, that is aerobic respiration. So let's proceed. Now we need energy. Every time we need energy to walk, to run, to climb the stairs, for washing the clothes, for cooking the food, for studying. Okay, even like when we are talking, when we are eating, when we are reading. Okay, when we are sleeping, the energy is required, isn't it? Now the internal metabolic processes, like you can say the digestion of food. Okay, then internal physiological process like beating of heart, movement of ribs, okay, and diaphragm during the breathing, then working of excretory system, working of nervous system. Okay, that also needs energy for their working. So what we can say that we need energy to perform all the activities which maintain our life and also to do work, right? Now where from do we get energy? This energy we get from food that we eat. In class 6, in the first chapter, you have read that food provides us energy, isn't it? Especially carbohydrates and fats, isn't it? It provides us energy. So basically in this chapter, what we are going to learn, in this chapter we will be learning that how that food is utilized inside our body and the energy is generated. Okay, this entire process of generating energy by breaking down of food is called actually the respiration. Okay. So here you see in the slide, the process of releasing energy from food is called what? It's called respiration. The food, it has actually the stored energy, right? Now the stored energy of food, it is released slowly during the process of respiration, which takes place inside our body all the time. Basically, where does this respiration take place inside our body? In the cells of our body. Now the question is, what is cell? Cells are the building blocks of our body. Like the bricks are the building blocks of a building, similarly cells are the building blocks of our body. Understood? So it is this energy which is then utilized in carrying out various life processes and doing our work, right? Now respiration, it is essential. Why it is very much indispensable and essential for our body? Because it provides us energy from the food which we eat and digest. Okay. So all the living organisms, they need respire to get energy from food required for their survival. Understood? Like, okay, so food basically it is considered as the fuel of our body. Okay, like you can say petrol or diesel. Okay, that is a fuel for automobile. Similarly, foods are the fuel of our body which provides us energy to maintain our life and stay healthy. Okay, so it is not only the human beings who needs energy, rather than human beings, all other animals and plants, they also require what? They also require energy. Okay, now as I said you, what is the site of respiration? Respiration, it occurs in all the living cells. Okay, the process of respiration, what does it involves? It involves taking in oxygen from air. You all know in the components of air, in class 6 you have read oxygen, 21% of oxygen is present. Okay, so the process of respiration, it involves taking in oxygen into the cells, using it for releasing energy by burning food, and then eliminating the waste product. Waste product means in this case the waste product is carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide we exhale out, isn't it? We inhale oxygen and we exhale out carbon dioxide, isn't it? So the oxygen we are inhaling, okay, it is helping in the process of burning the food. Okay, and in return, what it is producing? It is producing carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, carbon dioxide, we are exhaling out the carbon dioxide, and later this carbon dioxide, it is utilized up by the plants for the process of photosynthesis. Energy, the energy which is being generated, that energy, it is required by our body to perform all kind of activities. Okay, and water, Water, how come will you confirm that water it is also liberating out? Simply you just hold a piece of glass, okay, in front of your nostril. Now when you are inhaling out, when you are exhaling out, okay, what you will find? You will find that the droplets of water, okay, they are accumulating on the piece of glass. So this shows that water vapor, it is also produced in our body as a waste material, right? Now, most living organisms or most living things, they need oxygen to obtain energy from food. Okay, actually what happens, this oxygen, okay, it is this oxygen, it reacts with the food, okay, present in the body cells and burns them slowly to release energy. Okay, as you can see here in the word equation, it is given glucose. Okay, glucose, where from it is coming? It is coming from the food. Okay, so it is reacting with what? It is reacting with oxygen, rather you can say in presence of oxygen. This oxygen, it is coming from air. So glucose plus oxygen, where it is taking place? In the cells. Okay, it is releasing out what? Energy, water and carbon dioxide. Okay, so respiration, what we can say, that respiration is a kind of slow burning or slow combustion of food at ordinary temperature to produce energy. Combustion means, you know, combustion means to burn something, isn't it? And we all know that oxygen, it is required for the process of burning. Without oxygen, you can't burn anything, isn't it? Okay, so respiration, it is a kind of slow burning, okay, or slow combustion of food at ordinary temperature to produce energy. And over here also, inside our body also, the combustion which is taking place, it is also taking place in presence of oxygen. That is why we require oxygen. Okay, we require oxygen, okay, in order to generate energy. Understood? So here you can see this diagram. What does it show? It shows that respiration takes place in every cell in our body and those of other living organisms. So here you see the middle one, that is what? That is the cell, and the black one, that is the nucleus of the cell. Okay, actually where in the cell this respiration take place? Among all the cell organelle in mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria, it is known as what? It's known as the powerhouse of the cell, as because it generates what? It generates energy. So over here you see in the cell, glucose and oxygen, okay, it reacts, okay, and it releases what? It releases energy and water. So what is the site? The site is the cell. Okay, now the process of respiration is just the reverse of photosynthesis, just opposite of photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, oxygen is liberated out, carbon dioxide is taken in, and over here oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide, it is liberated out. Okay, just vice versa the process. Okay, but one thing, plant, they also undergo the process of respiration, not only photosynthesis, but since respiration, it is an indispensable process for all living organisms, so plant, they also undergo the process of respiration. Okay, now there are two main parts of respiration. Two main parts, what are that? Number one is breathing. Okay, so number one is breathing. What is breathing? That is taking in oxygen from air and releasing carbon dioxide. Okay, number one. Okay, that involves our respiratory system. Okay, we will discuss about our respiratory system in details later on. Okay, and number two is what? Number two is using oxygen in the cells of the organism for releasing energy from food. The main thing of respiration, okay, that is taking place inside the cell, that is using oxygen in the cells of the organism for releasing energy from food. Okay, now the air which we are inhaling, okay, it is transported to all the parts of the body and ultimately to each cell of the body. Now who performs this activity? Blood. Okay, blood. Okay, basically the plasma. Okay, now in the cells, what happens? The oxygen of air, it brings the breakdown of glucose, okay, and the process of breakdown of food in the cells of the body with the release of energy is called what? Is called respiration. Okay, now since the process of respiration which releases energy from food takes place inside the cells of the body, so it is also known as what? It's also known as cellular respiration. It takes place in all the cells of an organism, right? Now, types of respiration. Now, respiration, it is of two types. Okay, what is that? One is aerobic respiration, another one is anaerobic respiration. Number one is aerobic respiration, number two anaerobic respiration. Okay, now respiration, it usually takes place in presence of oxygen or air. Okay, now respiration, however, they can also take place in absence of oxygen. Okay, though it is very rare. Okay, so aerobic respiration is what? Aerobic respiration is a type of respiration which utilizes oxygen for the breakdown of food. That is what? That is aerobic respiration. So what we can say, aerobic respiration, it takes place in presence of what? In presence of air. And what is anaerobic respiration? Anaerobic respiration is a type of respiration which take place in the absence of air. So today what we will discuss? Today we will discuss in detail about what? In detail about aerobic respiration. Next day we will be discussing on anaerobic respiration. Okay. Now what is aerobic respiration? When the breakdown of glucose food occurs with the utilization of oxygen, it is called what? It's called aerobic respiration. Okay. Why it is called aerobic respiration? Because it uses air which contains what? Which contains oxygen. Aerobic, it means what? Aerobic means with air. Okay, now in aerobic respiration what happens, the glucose food, it is completely broken down into carbon dioxide and water with the use of oxygen, and energy is released. Too much of energy is released in case of aerobic respiration. When I will teach you anaerobic respiration, over there you will find that over there complete breakdown of food does not occur. Partial breakdown of food occurs and it liberates a very little energy. But in case of aerobic respiration, a huge amount of energy is liberated. Understood? So here you can see the word equation. Glucose in presence of oxygen in the cells, what happens? It breaks down into carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay. Now the energy released during the aerobic respiration, it is utilized by the organism. Okay. Now most of the living organism, they carry out what? They carry out aerobic respiration by using the oxygen of air. For example, what we can say, many examples we can give. Human beings, okay, then dog, cat, lion, elephant, cows, buffaloes, goat, deer, birds, lizard, earthworm, frog, fish, insect, okay, all kinds of insect, they carry out what? They carry out aerobic respiration by using oxygen of air. Okay. Now these organisms which obtain energy by aerobic respiration, they cannot live without the oxygen of air. This is because if there is no oxygen, they cannot get energy from the food which they eat. Okay. So as I said you that, like, in case of aerobic respiration, more amount of energy is generated than anaerobic respiration, as because complete breakdown of glucose occurs. Okay. So this complete breakdown of glucose, it produces what? It produces carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, here you can see this is a schematic diagram of aerobic respiration. Okay, this is what? This is the picture that shows what? Glucose, it reacts with oxygen. Okay, it produces what? Produces carbon dioxide, water and energy. Understood? So over here you see this is what? This is RBC. Okay, over here. Okay, these are RBC, red blood cells. Okay, when I'll describe you the next chapter, that is transport in plants and animals, over there you will read about RBC. Basically this RBC, it carries the oxygen. Okay, so this oxygen, it is carried by blood. As I said you that blood perform this activity towards a cell. Okay, and over the cell what happens? This process, entire process, it take place to release what? To release the energy. So this is all about your aerobic respiration. Next day I'll be discussing about anaerobic respiration, the other type of respiration. Okay, so thank you everyone.